My dear students, in today's class, we will deal with temporary polarizable effects, namely electromagnetic effects and inductomagnetic effects. Electromagnetic effect will be taking place in the case of pi bonds. Inductomagnetic effect will be taking place in the case of sigma bonds. Both are temporary. That means they are not existing in the ground state. They will be only in the excited state under the influence of the attacking reagent. Let us consider first one, namely electromagnetic effect, which is represented by E, related to pi bond in between same two atoms like C double bond C, C triple bond C, or between two different atoms like C double bond O, C triple bond and like that. What is the definition here? It can be defined as complete transfer of pi bond, that means electrons relating to pi bond, towards one of the bonded atoms under the influence of attacking reagent. This is the definition of electromagnetic effect. Complete transfer of pi bond, pi electrons towards one of the atoms. This happens only under the influence of attacking reagents. Reagent may be in the form of electrophile, reagent may be in the form of nucleophile. When the reagent is approaching, complete transfer of electrons will be taking place in certain molecules. And that is referred to as electromagnetic effect, which is represented by E. This is temporary polarizable effect. Temporary polarizable effect. Why is it temporary? Generally, this will be taking place. This will take place in the excited state of the molecule when the attacking reagent approaches. If the reagent is removed from the vicinity of the reaction, the electron cloud will be reverted back. That is why it is temporary. So, when the reagent is removed, the electron cloud will be reverted back, and the molecule attains the ground state. It is coming from the excited state to ground state when the reagent is removed. So, under the need of the reagent, under the influence of the reagent, when the reagent is approaching the molecule, the complete transfer of the pi electron cloud will be taking place between C and C or between C and O. It depends upon the nature of the reaction there. Now let us consider C double bond C. Like ethylene. One is sigma bond, other one is pi bond. This is alkene. This is alkene. Alkene characteristic reaction is electrophilic addition. Where there is pi bond, there always the molecule undergoes an addition reaction. Maybe nucleophilic addition, maybe electrophilic addition. Sometimes maybe free radical addition depending upon the conditions. And here in this case, electrophilic addition means first electrophilic attack takes place, later nucleophilic attack takes place to complete the reaction. Every addition reaction will be followed by two attacks. One is electrophilic attack, the other one is nucleophilic attack. As this is the carbon chemistry and these two are carbons, it is there is a strong proof to say that it is the first electrophile which is going to attack the carbon but not the nucleophile. And so after its name, it is called electrophilic addition. So in the electrophilic addition, electrophile has to approach. And so here the electrophile H plus is approaching. This is the electrophile. This electrophile has to add one of these two carbons seeking the bi-electron clouds. So under the influence of the electrophile, complete shift of the polarization, complete shift of the pi bond will be taking place. So you can show in this manner. When this is undergoing the complete shift on this carbon under the influence of the H plus, this gets a negative charge, this gets positive charge. That is the complete shift of the pi bond, during which electron density is shifted to one of these two carbons, and there is the electrophile. In this presence, this is more intensified. Pi bond is completely transferred to one of the two carbons. Now the electrophile makes its attack on this carbon, because electrophile is that one which seeks the electron density. It attacks where the electron density is more. This is having more electron density, and so this H plus attacks here. So what happens here? C single bond C plus single bond C. This minus charge will be forming as a bond between H and C. Minus plus gets cancelled, and more bond is formed here. In the case of alkane, during the electrophilic attack, always it leads to the formation of carbonyl. There is strong proof to say that first step is the formation of carbonyl in every electrophilic addition. So this is the carbonyl formed. And of course, later, nucleophile. If it is present, nucleophile comes here and attacks to give the product. This is nucleophile. Whatever nucleophile is there, that will be obtained there. This is the product. If at all the electrophile here is removed, electrophile is removed from the vicinity of the reaction, then what happens? You can see, when the electrophile is removed here, then what is going to happen? The cloud will be reverted back. The cloud will be reverted back like this, and once again you will get C double bond C. Same alkene, original alkene is once again formed. And so that is why, as the electron cloud is reverted back, this is temporary. As long as the electrophile is present in the vicinity of the reaction, this polarization will be taking place, and later the electrophile attack is done. Prior to the attack of this electrophile, if it is removed from the sphere of the reaction, automatically ethylene is once again formed here, alkene is once again formed, and the effect is nullified. That is how we can identify the electromeric effect. There are two types of electromeric effects. One is positive plus E effect, other one is negative. In what way you can understand whether negative or positive? When the attacking reagent is attacking that carbon to which the electron density shifted, then it is called a positive electromeric effect. And so here in this case, we can write it as plus E effect. We can write it as plus E effect. Why? Because the attacking reagent is added to this carbon where the shift of the electron cloud is taking place. And the shift of the electrons is taking place towards that carbon where the reagent is attacking, then that effect is called positive effect, in this case electromeric effect. So this is what you call positive electromeric effect. Right? Please note it. Now let us consider the electromeric effect in other angle. We can consider C double bond O or C triple bond N. Just like aldehydes and ketones, we can take here whether it is aldehyde or ketone. Along with sigma bond, pi bond is also present, which is easily polarizable. Already polarization will be taking place towards electronegative atom. And when the reagent is approaching here, reagent we will take here a nucleophile like Y minus, nucleophile. Electron-rich reagent is called nucleophile. When the reagent is approaching, the electron density, pi electron will be completely shifted towards more electronegative atom. Thereby, it gives O minus C plus. And of course, Y is there. This is the complete shift of the pi electron density towards the one of the bonded atoms there. This is happening, complete shift is happening only in the presence of the electrophilic nucleophilic reagents. This is happening in this presence. And later, this Y minus already attacks this to give the species. This is Y, this is O minus. This is a nucleophilic attack. And this is what you call electromeric effect, because complete shift of the pi electron density is taking place under the influence of the nucleophile. After that, of course, electrophile will be added to completely give the product OX. This is the product. As the nucleophile is making its attack on the carbon, after its name, it is called nucleophilic addition. Aldehydes and ketones will be undergoing nucleophilic addition here. And particularly if you observe carefully, the attacking reagent is attacking this carbon and the electron displacement is away from that carbon. So the reagent is attacking the particular species there, particular atom there, from which the electron is moving away, then it is called a minus effect. And so this comes under the category of minus electromeric effect. In this way, you can take aldehydes and ketones. There is, of course, polarization is there, but in the presence of the nucleophile, the polarization is completed to give the complete charged fragments there. And thereby, nucleophilic attack becomes easy after this development. Suppose If this nucleophile is removed, if the nucleophile is removed here, let us suppose Y minus is removed, then what happens? The cloud will be reverted back, that is all. The cloud will be reverted back and it will be coming to the original condition, C double bond O, like this. This is the original state, ground state. In this way, electromagnetic effect will be operated in C double bond C, C double bond C, C double bond O, C double bond N. So you can take here C double bond C, C double bond C, C double bond O, C double bond N. In all these cases, electromagnetic effect is operated under the need of the reagent approaching it. In these two cases, electromagnetic positive, in these two cases, electromagnetic negative. In that way, we can understand the electromagnetic effect in terms of pi bond shifting. Okay, please note it. The second one, inductive effect. Inductive effect and inductive effect both are through sigma bond. Anyhow, inductive effect is permanent. Inductomeric is temporary. Inductive effect is polarization effect. Inductomeric effect is polarizable effect. Inductive effect is existing in the ground state. Inductomeric effect is operative only in the excited state of the molecule. Now, in what way we can define inductomeric effect, which is temporary? Already inductive effect must be present in the molecule that is existing through polar covalent bond by an atom or group. Inductive effect will be existed by an atom or group. Inductive effect of atom or group. And that inductive effect will be intensified when the reagent is approaching towards the reactant, towards the substrate. That intensification of the inductive effect already existing in the molecule through polar covalent bond under the influence of the attacking agent is called inductomeric effect. It is represented by ID. Inductive effect is represented by I. Inductomeric effect is represented by ID. Just like electromagnetic effect, this is also temporary polarizable effect. This is existing in the ground state, not ground state, excited state when the reagent is approaching. When the reagent is removed, of course, from the vicinity of the reaction, the reagent, the substrates, reactant molecule will be coming to the original state, that is ground state. That means intensification of the inductive effect is diminished, is vanished rather better. So in this way, this is the inductomeric effect. We can consider an example for this. I am taking nitromethane. Example, nitromethane. This I am taking. Nitro group is always electron withdrawing. When attached to sp3 carbon, it withdraws electron density from the carbon and so it exerts minus inductive effect. Nitro group exerts minus inductive effect. Polarization is existing up to some extent. This is in the ground stage. You have to know one point. Aldehydes and ketones and nitroalkanes in which alpha hydrogen is present, they will be participating in tautomerism. Due to tautomerism, alpha hydrogen in aldehydes, alpha hydrogen ketones, alpha hydrogen nitroalkanes, they get some acidic character. And that is why whenever it is treated with a strong base, automatically the H plus from this nitromethane, alpha H, will be abstracted by the strong base. Thereby, the effect will be shown here. In what way now we can understand. I am taking the approach of the OH minus. Here, we are considering the OH minus. This is a base. This is approaching. What happens here? This OH will be trying to abstract the alpha hydrogen. This is the alpha hydrogen. Due to tautomerism, this gets some acidic character. As a result of which this H plus will be abstracted by OH minus. And so the bond will be shifted like this. Then what we will get here? H2O plus CnO2, which is already having minus inductive effect here, and this is getting minus charge. Just imagine now. As this carbon is getting minus charge, it will be pushing the electron cloud towards this carbon, towards nitro group. This will be pushing the electron cloud or releasing the electron cloud. Releasing the electron cloud towards nitro group. Towards nitro group. That means whatever the polarity here, the polarity is increased. And then whatever the minus I effect is also intensified. So due to the pushing nature, releasing nature of the carbanion, after the formation of this nitro group is becoming more minus I effect, exhibiting minus I effect more. That means the inductive effect is enhanced. That is the intensification of the inductive effect in the molecule already present by the approach of this reagent. Whenever this reagent is removed, this will be coming back to this state, original state, and that is why this is temporary. Alright. So in this case, we can say that minus inductive effect is increasing for nitro group. If the effect is causing increase in minus I effect, then it will be minus ID. If it is causing increase in plus I effect, it will be plus ID. That is the only difference there. So here one more example we can take. Please note it. One more example here I am considering. Substitution reactions taking place in the case of alkyl halide, nucleophilic substitution. And this is the methyl bromide, can be treated as primary alkyl halide. Here CBr bond is having polarity. And so this will be exhibiting minus inductive effects. Due to negative inductive effect of bromo group, CBr bond is getting polarized. We are getting partial negative charge and carbon is getting electron deficiency, partial positive charge. When the reagent, like nucleophile, is approaching this, what happens here? Finally, the CBr bond is to be broken. When it is broken, when the polarization is more and more intensified, that means the minus inductive effect should be in such a way that it is able to seek the electron cloud completely and coming out as Br minus. That means the inductive effect is to be intensified. That is happening in the presence of this reagent, namely Y minus. When the Y minus is approaching, Y minus, which is an electron density more, this is pushing the electron cloud towards this carbon, and thereby slightly bond is developed. When this bond is developed here, the electron displacement will be taking place towards bromine. And so this CBr bond is more polarized. That means inductive effect of bromine is intensified. And so this is the transition state where both are involved here. And this is the mechanism, of course, in the case of SN2. And after that, what happens? This bond will be completely broken and this bond will be established. The stereochemistry is completely changed. And so this is why see the 3H hydrogens present on the left side is turned to right side, which is compared as Walden inversion. So this is completely what you say stereochemical inversion. And so why bond C is formed and though Br- separated. This is only due to the intensification of the CBr bond that is taking place. So this is way. In this way here, in this reaction we are having both inductive effect as well as endothermic effect. Without endothermic effect, we cannot completely depend on inductive effect here. And so in some cases, inductive effect and endothermic effect are indistinguishable. Both are operating in a combined way. Anyhow, for logic purpose, we are separating them and we are showing how the inductive effect of bromine is increased in the vicinity of the reagent. Suppose if the reagent is removed, this will be coming back and this formed original state. So this is the way you have to understand the endothermic effect. Okay? Endothermic effect, when it is encouraging minus I, it is minus ID. When it is encouraging plus I effect, it is plus ID. That is the difference. Okay? Thank you very much for your watching my video. Please note it.